Well, as you can tell, the feeder has gone off, and the feeder that went off happened to be Apache. Apache come out and throw some feed out. There's, I swear, it looks like Forrest has got something already starting to grow back. There's a deer way up there on the hill. There's 3 or 4 deer way up on the hill running. Look at those guys. And there is the big 12-point coming in here, and still he's got his horns this morning. Every day I suspect he's not going to have them. When Chris is taking a nap today, I'm going to do some walking in the woods, but you can see I won't with counting there. I'm sure we got 16 or 70. I saw some running up there on the hill. Don't know what might have been chasing those. I haven't seen a coyote or anything come through, but those deer look like they were running from something. Here comes the big 10-point coming in. That's just a nice little breakfast. I'd call that the breakfast run this morning. Yes, I would. The big 12-point there. Isn't he a gorgeous deer? Sure want to find your antlers, big boy. You are a pretty, pretty boy. Yes, you are. And you're staying pretty. You're going to feel kind of naked when they fall off. It should happen any day now. We have some real weather coming in. I'm talking real weather. It's really dark, cloudy out here right now, and it's gonna be coming all kinds of weather. Thunderstorms, high winds out of the south, high winds out of the north, and then perhaps heavy thunderstorms, tornadoes, hail, heavy rain. I'm hoping the heavy rain part's what I'm hoping for. The deer are all out feeding. There are no deer around. There's no turkey around, but here comes some coming in right here. I thought I'd come out here. They're feeding heavy right now. They don't get Channel 25 news out of Oklahoma City. They don't get that at all. But they know without a shadow of a doubt, they know that the weather's coming, and they know it's bad. And I'm gonna just throw some food out here because they certainly need it. Got Bella's out running around. She's here with us all week. The deer are not really used to her. They know that she won't bother them much, but they're still not used to her, and so they watch her a little closer. Look, he coming, look, he coming, look, he coming. I told you they were all out feeding, but all I got to do is whisper kind of loud. Whisper kind of loud, and here they come. There's TC. There's TC. He should be starting some nubbins growing back here sometime pretty soon. His nubbins are going to get large. We got to go find the antlers. I'm waiting on that 12-point to lose his before I look very much. More deer coming running. Oh, they're coming and running. They said Jimmy is in the... Oh, there's old Thunder Chicken way off out there. He's way off out there. He'll probably come up here too, because they can really hear good. So I know that he hears me. Deer coming from every direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 here right now. 13. And probably have a few more. My baby Forrest, antlerless Forrest, was here this morning, and he ate a big scoop of South Fresh off of the porch. Oh, there he is right there. I didn't see him in here. There he is right there. Yep, there he is. You know, I had there watching the dogs up there. I don't know why they're concerned about the dogs. The dogs are, Forrest don't even pay attention. He gets within 2 or 3 foot of them. Keeps an eye on them though. That's just what they do. But these deer knows that the weather's changing. They know the storm is coming in, and so they're out feeding, trying to scrape up all they can. Food is still scarce in the woods. We don't have anything starting to green yet. We will be getting out and starting planting our food plots here pretty quickly. We've got some Okmulgee River buckmaker food plots ordered out of Georgia, a couple pallets of it. We'll be planting, and then we'll be putting neutral plots on those. As soon as some green starts sticking out of the ground, putting that neutral plot on and getting that really growing. You see all them babies right there. Those are babies we turned loose last fall. They're doing good. A couple, 2 or 3 little bucks in there and several does. See 2 little bucks just kind of glancing, maybe 3. And they're just having a great time. So here comes another little deer in, and here comes Thunder Chicken way back behind there. coming in. See him coming back behind. Actually, a couple deer coming in right there. A couple of the babies. And so we about got the whole crowd out here, I think. And they're coming in here to eat early in the morning. They love it. That little deer that right there is my little baby. She is such a tiny little thing. I love those little tiny does. They all remind me of Lucy. She was a small doe, but had triplets, and she gave us so much love, and I miss Lucy every day. That one's got that little knot on its right-hand side. It was pretty big yesterday. It looks like it might have gone down. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just sort of thinking, hoping it did. No way, really. I could give that little baby a shot, but I don't really want to. More deer coming in. They're all, you know, she's very cautious. Look at her. She's doing that to the dogs. The dogs are just laying over here. They're just laying. They're not either one of them. They're not either one of them paying any attention to anything, but the deer are really watching them closely anyway. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. But it's dark and cloudy. It's not very cold right now, but it's going to get cold. And actually, the high tomorrow is supposed to be chill temperature in the teens, 12 and 13 degrees, actual temperature in the 20s, and a strong, strong north wind. The wind's blowing strong out of the south now. But we have changes on the horizon here in southern Oklahoma. And Lord, please send us some moisture. We need moisture so bad. We have had less than 2/10 of an inch of moisture in 2022. And we certainly need a whole lot more. Fill these lakes up. Fill these lakes up. There's my 12-point back there. And again today, he's still wearing both antlers. Well, this is really something. There is no deer around anywhere. Now, we had a real big-time emergency happen. And so we'll explain that in another video. Big-time emergency happened. And that's part of the reason that there's not any deer around, but that's the big 12-point out there. You can see he's still got both antlers here at the end of this week. And I would think they got to be dropping sometimes pretty soon. I sure want to do some shed hunting. I've been walking around a little bit, have had no luck whatsoever. Been looking for whiteys. Antlers. You know, the squirrels will get after them, chew them up pretty bad. So if we're going to find them in good shape, you need to find them relatively quickly. Shed hunting's good all the way through March and into April. The vegetation gets kind of heavy. It gets kind of dangerous. Plus rattlesnakes. You got to watch out for rattlesnakes. But that's the only deer out. There was 2 little deer in the front yard this morning, and that's all. If you look around everywhere, they're just not out there. Now, I could probably go out there, but it's really, really cold. And I will go out there in a little bit as soon as I take a shower. But I probably could go out there and whisper a few up. Probably have to whisper pretty loud because the wind's blowing 30 to 40 miles an hour from the north. And it is 35. I look over there now, I can't see it. I don't know what it is. But the big 12-point's the only guy out there. He's out there all by himself. I had 2 small deer in the yard this morning. They're just getting out of this cold. Even as tough as they are, it's cold out there. We'll make one more check on them before we end this week's deer videos and see if we can't find a few more deer come around the house. Well, it looks like Apache's beat me to it. We got 4 babies is all we got out there this morning. That big 8-point is gone. 12-point. And but I was looking out through the binoculars. And I did see green tag, which should be in the pens. Green tag, if you remember, was out. Green tag's the one that got really, really skinny, and I doctored her quite a bit, and then we got to put her back in the pen, and she fattened up and real good and should be bred by Whitey, so she should be carrying some really pretty babies and some big babies. I saw green tag and 2 other deer down below, so I've actually now with those 4 babies out there. Those were 4 babies that was here last night, and they should be out. We don't want those in the pen. We want them out running free. And the green tag, I think it looked like had 2 smaller deer with her. So, of course, she's a pretty good-sized deer. But, so we've actually seen about 8 deer this morning is about it. And it is cold out there. Apache's got his leather jacket on, and he's getting ready to carry some alfalfa to the other deer in the pen, and we'll see what we got. see if we can't get split ear and green tag back in and maybe get some of those babies out. Well, here is something that we haven't seen a whole lot of this week, and oh mercy, TC there, Thundercloud, heard me talking. You see him looking up? He can hear me talking even though I'm inside. It's so cold out there. It's 35 degrees with 20, 30, 40 mile an hour north winds. The deer are out there feeding in the yard and down by the water, and one was down there getting a drink. We got a few ducks out there, not too many. There was a good passel of ducks out there early, and the dogs ran out and scared them off. But you can see we got a few ducks out there swimming around. With that north wind, I'm surprised there's not a whole lot more. There is Forrest, bald-headed Forrest, bald-headed TC. And the only thing different in those and guys is guys don't grow theirs back. It would be all right if it fell off every year and grew back, especially if more grew back the second year. The next year after it fell out, that would be a pretty good deal. I could go along with that. Mine's falling out and none's going back in. But anyway, that's nice out there. That is very nice. With all the excitement went on this week, it's very good to see them out there on this cold, cold morning. There was not any deer at all around early this morning. And now we've got a good bunch out there. I don't know how many I'm seeing. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. There's at least 9 out there, probably really more than that. If it looks cold out there, it is colder than it looks, I can tell you. You can see the carpet that we leave laying out on the porch is blowing all around from that 40 mile an hour south wind. It's Oklahoma, blew 40 miles to the south, then turned around, blew 40 mile an hour out of the north. But for the most part, we don't get the wind down here in southern Oklahoma like they get in some of the other parts of the state. We live in heaven after all. Okay, now that Apache put some feed out there, we had quite a bit more show up. Actually, TC came in, and with him was Forrest. So Forrest and TC are just fine. They've come in, some babies have come in. They've kind of cleaned it all up out there. You can see there's some deer off out to the right. That looks like TC right there. Boy, he's a big, pretty boy. It's going to be fun to watch his antlers start performing here pretty quickly. And Forrest is out there with that bunch too, and that's him right there. Yeah, it's Forrest standing right there by the feeders. As a matter of fact, there he is right there, walking over to that white rub rag. And that's TC, and there's the 12-point. The 12-point's pretty aggressive. He's the only one that's got any weapons. The others are unarmed, and he's carrying some weapons. But there's 3 big boys over there. It's going to be really good. Hopefully we can find TC's antlers and Forrest antlers and the 12-points antlers. Hopefully we'll have them all here for you to see pretty soon. But that's a good way to end the week right there. We still have deer out, but we'll tell you about that later. This is crazy.